What's up, y'all? Welcome to another video. We're lucky to have our guy Zay The Barber here. I'm with Zay and Julio. Introduce yourself.
What's up? I'm Julio.
What's up?
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Zay the Barber here, man. You know what I mean? I'm glad to be on here with Joe and Julio.
Right on. We're celebrating our first milestone of being young apprentices. We made 10,000 followers and
Hey!
It's a young milestone. We know we got a long way to go. I was lucky to have Zay tell me, you know what I mean, go ahead and 10x your goals. Like, don't shoot for something small because that's what you're gonna get. If you want to drive a Benz, go ahead and shoot for the Ferrari. You know what I mean? Can you like elaborate on a young barber that doesn't really have his goals set yet and like the importance of that?
I mean, you definitely you gotta know where you're going. You can't just you gotta become a calculated person to be like, you know, if you know where you're going, you know what steps you need to take in order to get there. So it's like you gotta definitely reverse engineer. Sometimes we're always like making these actions, but it's not necessarily about the actions. It's about whether or not this action is going to take me to that destination I'm looking to get towards.
Right.
So if you're able to set very high goals, very aggressive goals, something that's not realistic to you, something that is just really beyond the measure, and then just plan it out, and then reverse engineer and be like, okay, what steps do I need to get there? And sometimes certain things move different ways. Sometimes you have to pivot into different actions and change your plans up and make things happen. But as long as it gets you to your destination, that's all that matters.
Right on. And my guy Julio, speaking of that, he just told me he got the, what's it called you just bought?
Oh, a planner. It's a so what it is. You can pretty much just plan your whole day without on this book. You can set goals on there. It gives you little boxes where you can set goals that ask you questions. Like this book comes with questions that ask you, so you can work to where you can respond to it and go, oh shit, but
your priorities are set.
Your priorities and all that other stuff. But I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, planning out the shit that I need to do.
Yeah, you plan out your day. So you got your vision set, you got your priorities and your goals set with your planner. You know what I mean? I definitely advise everybody to have a planner. And another thing that we've had the pleasure of being gamed up on is the importance of reading books. You know, and like not only the books but the right books. Can you tell us a few that are on your mind lately?
I would say the best book to read is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's about developing the right habits to take action. So sometimes we always try to take this like big action each day to try to get to our destination. And sometimes it becomes unrealistic for us to just, get 5 heads in a day when you just learned how to cut hair yesterday.
Yeah, I can relate to that one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it takes one bite at a time. It takes one action a day. Sometimes for me, it took 1 hour a day. Even in the book, it talked about how that somebody was trying to lose weight, and what they did is they did 1 sit-up a day and then added another sit-up onto that each day. So the first day they would do 1 sit-up, the second day they would do 2 sit-ups, the third day they would do 3 sit-ups, the fourth day, and so what they did is they got to the point where by the end of the 365 days out of the year, they were doing 365 sit-ups, 366 sit-ups a day.
Okay.
And they kept doing that and building on to that because what they were doing is they were building habits. Sometimes it's not about taking action, it's about building good habits. It's about building a habit. So it's like if you're trying to get back in the gym, you wouldn't go back into the gym spending 2 hours into the gym. I would suggest you probably starting out with 20 to 30 minutes a day into the gym and building yourself up to that hour to 2 hours. Because it's not about taking that massive action right now. It's just about building habits, because habits compound over a period of time.
That foundation.
Consistency is one of the things we all struggle with. I think the fear of making that first jump and just getting started is so tough. Like people fear that maybe they're too old. They feel like, oh, I'm too old for this profession, or I'm too young for this profession, or I'm a female barber. Like, what's some of the ways they can get over that fear?
So the thing is sometimes you gotta realize that fear is an illusion, and where fear is not, faith is not, and where faith is not, fear is. So it's like whenever you have fear, you gotta substitute with faith. And another thing is like we all have our fears. Everybody deals with certain fears. You know what I mean? Whether you're old, young, a female barber, you know, whatever position you're at, whether you feel like you started late, started early, we all have our own fears. It's just about realizing and not focusing on the fears, but focusing on the prosperity.
Right.
Focusing in on the good things, focusing in on the positive things, focusing in on what position you're in, focusing in on that, on having gratitude. It's like one thing I always do to get over fear is just focusing on the things that are going right. It's like instead of focusing on the things that are going wrong and the things that I don't like about myself or the things that like I feel like I can improve on, I'm focusing in on my strengths. I'm focusing on the things that I do well at. I'm focusing on the things that I excel at. I'm focusing on the things that are going right, and that's what keeps me going forward.
Speaking of your strengths, you know, I got a DM talking about clippers. What clipper should I use? What's the best for a beginner? And I'm here with the fade master himself, so I figured why not go ahead and bring that up so you can answer that one.
I got a DM like that too.
I think the thing about fades is, so I always tell people, one, it's about knowing your lengths. Like we could talk about clippers all day, but I really feel like if you give me any clipper, I probably could cut with it. You know what I mean?
One more clipper challenge?
Yeah,
You straight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'll make it work. Like I'll either adjust the trimmers you give me and make it sharper or make it duller so I can get out the ball lines. Like I learned about lengths. And so when it comes to fading, it's more about learning about lengths because everybody's hair is different. Everybody's hair is longer, everybody's hair is, thicker in certain areas. It's more about learning your lengths and learning learning about dealing with each situation you bring. You know what I mean? If I'm cutting a short hair, long hair, straight hair, coarse hair, I just know how to blend everything because I know about lengths. I know about what I should be doing. And so one of the clippers I personally like, if you just want to ask that as well, is I like using the Wall Magic clips or the Fade Masters. And it's sometimes I even feed off of other clippers, but I just like those two consistent ones because they're just really consistent.
Okay.
I like something with a fade blade on it because I like to get a lot sharper. But the thing about mastering fades is just mastering your foundation and how well you can do your steps. I think sometimes I see people all the time is they don't spend enough time on their steps and they go too fast to where they end up wasting too much time. So it's if you want to be able to really master your steps, it's go slow first, and you'll realize that you'll make way less mistakes, and you won't have to go back over shit. You know what I mean? They always say if you want to go fast, go slow.
Go slow. And I feel that you're at the fast stage, and me and Julio, on the other hand, I'm holding my apprentice license. We're apprentices, and man, we're taking our time on these clients. You know what I mean? We're focused on just to make sure they come back the next week. So we're going ahead and taking our time.
Take your time.
It's the truth.
Another fear, when I dropped out of school, everybody thought I was ridiculous, you know what I mean? It was why don't you just go ahead and get that degree, you know what I mean? Use this as a side hustle, and I'm like, no, this could be it, but I just don't know how I'm gonna go ahead and make this my financial vehicle.
I always love this thing that Bernie Mac used to always say. He used to say that he was he never focused on money. He said that he always focused on doing what he's passionate about and being the best at it, right? And so it's whatever you do, I don't care if you was doing photography, art, all these industries that have that stigma of saying that, you know what I mean, you won't make the money, acting, all this stuff that it's just hard to make money in, right? It's you gotta learn that sometimes you gotta soak in the craft that you do. You gotta soak in the thing that you do and do the best at it, and the money will find you. You know what I mean? I realized that when I was cutting in the garage, I just was just soaked into just becoming the best at cutting hair, that people just loved their haircuts. People were just really satisfied, and I realized I was building this demand. Then the entrepreneur mind came in and be you know what? I probably could be charging more. I probably could be getting more value out of it. So it's you could sit here and chase the money and you'll get nowhere. Or you could sit there and just soak into your craft and just build a demand, build all this you know what I mean, this platform that you have, and then you're like, okay, now what do I do with it? Because I think so many people focus on the money, focus on trying to build this money that they never get there because they didn't soak in their craft. They didn't master step one, which was being the best at what you offered. So it's like, master your craft, master the thing that you do, and you'll find the money. The money will find you. You don't need to find money. Money will find you. Money is waiting to knock on you. You know what I mean? It's almost like when you built that demand, it's like clients are just waiting to pay you. And it's like, please let me pay you, please. Because it's like when you built that demand and you built that craft, you built the skill set, you don't ever have to ask nobody for the money. The money will be there. It'll be sitting right in front of you. So no matter what industry you're doing, it's like when you become an actor, you become this person, you become that, you know what I mean? You become a highly sought out person. You become so valuable that people are willing to pay you more. People are willing to pay you more than what other people are willing to pay you. So it's like, don't necessarily focus on the money. Don't chase it, because money is an illusion. It's more about how much value you're willing to give and how much value you're worth. So keep focusing on how much your skill set is worth. Keep focusing on creating more value in what you do. Keep focusing on creating your craft and getting better at it and better until people have no other choice but to pay you $50. You know what I mean? They want to pay you $50 so bad that they don't care. To them, it's like they're paying you $50, but they're giving $100 worth of value. You know what I mean? They want everything that you have to give them.
Yeah.
So focus on that.
That cut is priceless.
Yeah.
Grinding all my life. Look, I'm married to this gang. That's who I made my wife. Said I die alone. I told that she probably right. One thing that's for sure, not a stranger to this life. Got a safe that's full of Franklins and a shoulder full of stripes. I don't know it like myself. I say self-made, meaning I design myself.
Yeah.
You wasn't focused on the money first.
No. I don't even think I was focused on the money for maybe until
All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, I'm married to this gang.